Hey everyone, welcome to the final video. So in this one, we're finally going to finish our code and essentially just add some final touches and basically just finish our game. All right, so I got a plan and let me explain exactly what I'm trying to achieve here. And we're just going to add the final, touches and all that stuff. So the first thing I want to do, if you run the game right now, if you take a look at it, we see the cars 3-3. Your current score is 6. Computer's first car is 3. All right, so I can just play. I'm just gonna say okay, yes, I'll grab another one. So I'm 15 right now, and let's say I grab another one, and it's gonna say what happened. So your current score is 17. Computer's first card is 3. Type 1 to get another card. So I'm just gonna again grab another one, and 18. Wow, okay, so we're gonna grab another one, and 19. Wow, we'll keep getting ones. All right, so we grab another one, and 21. All right, so our current score is 21, and if I say no because we reached the end of it, what happened is that we didn't get anything, right? We didn't get any message that says you won, you lost. I don't know if I won or lost. I mean, I'm assuming I won because I hit 21, and that's blackjack. But again, you don't know, right? So what we need to do is we need to add some sort of message or some sort of a system that tells us, hey, you're winning, you're losing, what happened, who's doing what, and all that stuff. So that being said, I'm going to go to the top of the code here, and I'm going to create a new function. And the idea with this is that I want to create a function that is going to, get the information from user score and computer score and display a certain message based on that. So that way we can actually use that function throughout the game to, figure out who's winning and who's losing, right? So that's what I'm going to do again. And again, because we were creating a function, I want to go to the top of the code because that's where we have our functions, right? So that's what I want to do. Anyway, so let's go ahead and create the function. I'm going to define this function. I'm going to call this compare. That's the name of the function I'm going to go with. And then we're going to get user score. And we're going to also get computer score. There you go. So just like that, we got 2 of the values that we need. All right. So let's actually, or we're defining these values, let's go ahead and actually run these. So we're going to say if user score equals computer score. All right, hopefully we do this right. We're going to say return draw. So again, this is a function. There you go. All right, so this is a function with an output, right? So we have an input, we have an output. So just like that, we got that going on. So we got the first one is draw. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna use elif to essentially check for every other situation that we might come across and just run that. So the next thing I'm gonna say elif computer score equals 0. This means that the computer hit a blackjack, right? So we're going to return you lost, computer has blackjack. All right, so that's basically one of the situations that we're coming across, right? The next one is we're going to have a situation where you hit the blackjack or the user. So we're going to say elif user score equals 0. We're going to say you win, return. We're going to say you win with a blackjack. There you go. Perfect. So that's 2 situations. Now let's go ahead and hit the other possible situations, right? Another situation is when you are less than 21, right? You're not, let's say you go over 21, sorry. So that's what happens when you do that. So we want to say, okay, if you go over 21, you lose, right? So we're just going to have another elif, and we're going to say user score equals, or actually bigger than 21. We're going to say return, and this return is going to say you went over, you lost. Perfect, right? So, and then we're going to have the same situation for the computer. We're going to say elif computer computer score is over 21. We're going to say return computer went over, you win. All right, so just like that, so that happened. All right, and another thing that we want to also consider is another situation where you have a higher score than the computer, right? So elif we're going to say user score bigger than computer score. We're going to say return you won. All right, and anything else that's essentially when the computer is going to have a higher score than you. We're going to say you lost. So one of the things I want to explain here is that we have a bunch, so we have a function with a lot of returns, right? So let's actually bring this down. PyCharm is not liking that. So I want you to understand what is really happening here. So we have a situation where we're checking for a lot of different functions, and if you remember about if and else statements and elif and everything else, this thing is going to run in order, right? But if we actually end up hitting any of these situations, because we have a return here, we're going to essentially end the function right here. So for example, if you have a situation where you have a blackjack, we're gonna check with this, right? This is gonna work, and this is gonna pass through. We're gonna pass this. We win with a blackjack, and that's it. Like, we're not gonna run anything else here because we have a return that essentially means that we ended this function. So just like that, that's how it actually works. All right. So now that we have this, let's actually add it to our code, because right now we have the function, but we actually are not calling it yet, right? So I'm going to add a few things. Let's go all the way down. All right. What I want to add first, okay, is I want to add, make sure we're running on the same level as the while. So I'm going to add, first of all, I'm going to say print, and we're going to say compare, and we're going to say user score and computer score. So just like that, we're basically printing all these messages, all right, to as the user is playing the game. So if I run this, we got 7 and 7, 14. The computer is 2. I'm just going to say yes. So we got 16. All right, I'm not going to push my luck here. I'm just going to say no, and let's see what happened. So we said no, it's just gonna say you lost. So that's pretty much it, right? So again, I don't know what happened exactly, but I lost. Now we want to actually clarify this a little bit more, right? So I want to make sure that we display a couple other messages. For example, one of the things I want to say is I'm going to say print, and we're going to say f your final hand, okay, is user. So, and we want to actually reveal the numbers, like reveal my numbers and reveal users numbers, like the computer numbers essentially, so we see exactly who got what, so we understand it better, right? So I'm going to say we want to make sure that we print the final hands at the end, so we understand that. So I'm going to say user cards, all right, final score equals, and we're going to say user score. All right, so just like that, we have one here that is going to show our hand, but I want to also see computer's hand as well when we are at the end of it, right? So I'm just going to do another one. I'm just going to say computer's final hand is, I'm going to say computer cards. All right, so that's that, and final score is computer score. So just like that, we got that rolling. So now if I run this, it's going to look a lot more cleaner. So there you go. So we got your cards, like 7, computer's first card is 6. I'm going to say yes because that's way low. We got 9 right now. Okay, that's cool. And I'm just going to keep going. and I'm gonna say 15. All right, so like we're starting to push it a little bit. I'm gonna say no. I'm not gonna take a risk. And so here you go. So look at this. Your final hand 15, computer's final hand 17, you lost. So now it actually is a lot more cleaner, right? So that's much better. All right. So one more thing I want to add here, okay, before we finish this up, is a very important while loop. So think about it this way. Right now, what is happening? Let's get rid of this. What is happening is that we are basically ending the program every time we are finished with the game. So what if like I want to have a loop where we keep playing the game? Also, another thing I think we should do that I just like thought about right now is to make sure we keep the screen clean after like blah. Look at that, I immediately lost. All right, so I didn't look at this, but anyways, I immediately lost. But like, take a look. So I want to make sure that we clean this up every time we run this program. All right. So one of the things that I want to do is I want to add a while loop. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a new function. Okay. The idea with this new function is that it's going to be it's going to include the entire game in it. All right, it's going to include the entire game in it, so we can actually run this function whenever like the user desires, right? So I'm just going to say define, let's call this play game, and we're going to say that's it. So that's going to be that. But what is happening? What is going to happen is I'm going to take the entire code. Okay, let's go all the way down. Okay, I'm going to take the entire code here, and I'm going to put it under this under this function. So I'm just going to tab it. There you go. So we just put everything under this thing. All right, so just like that, we have it all here. All right, so now that we have everything set up, now what I need to do is I need to have a while loop. Okay, so let's actually do this. There you go. So I'm just gonna have a while loop, and I'm going to say input, and we're going to have an input. Do you want to play? So we're asking for user if they want to play a game of blackjack. Type Y. Let's actually, there you go, Y or N. There you go. So that's that. Now let's make sure it's lowercase always. All right, so that's very important. And if that's equal yes, or while this like answer to this equals yes, what we're going to do is we're going to say play game. So we're going to call this function, which is going to run the entire game, right? So that's what we're basically going to do. So anyway, so that's basically that. Now, one more thing is that I want to make sure that each time we run the game, we clear it. So I'm just going to say clear. Or actually, I think we haven't called the replit function. So like what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here. I'm just going to say import or from replit import clear. So yeah, so that's just like that. We are going to use the replit function to import the clear. All right, so I don't know why it's giving me red from, okay, anyways, from replit import clear. I don't know why. Let me actually see what's going on here. But like, again, I'm going to say like, again, we're going to go all the way back down again, and we're going to say clear. So just like that, we're going to run this. All right, so let's see if this runs, or I'm going to get an error. No module named rep. Okay, it's now calling the replit module. So let's actually go to our settings here, or like, what is it, our packages. Okay, there you go, Python packages, replit, and we gotta install this one. All right, so like I'm just gonna go ahead and install this package. All right, now it's installed. All right, great. Okay, so we didn't have it, that's why. All right, so, and that was again another quick tutorial on how to install these packages. All right, and I think what is happening is that one of the things I just remembered is that one of the things is that if you want to import a package, you need to import a package per project. So like if I start a new project, you're not going to have the Replit package, because it works a little bit different in Visual Studio Code. So like in Visual Studio Code, when you have a when you import a package, you actually have it for entire, like any program that you're going to write. But in this case, that's not the case. So like, you know, you got to import it per project. So that's a bit different in PyCharm. But anyways, so that should solve the problem. And if I run this, there you go, we got our beautiful game. So he says, do you want to play a game with blackjack? I say, of course, yes. So like it's gonna say 14 is my card right now. Computer's first hand is 10. I have a feeling computer's over, like has higher than us. We're just gonna say yes, we're gonna risk it. And we got a 10, we went over, damn it. So so that's that. So we lost essentially. Your final hand is 24, so we had a total of 24. Computer's final hand is 23. You went over, you lost. I think we went over first, so that's why we lost. Anyways, so let's play another round. So I'm just gonna say 16. Computer's first hand is 11. First card is 11. So yeah, so I have a higher chance of losing. So I'm just gonna say no. Your computer's final hand is 21. You lost. All right, great. So there you go. I'm not being lucky today, but that's the idea, and that's how the game works. All right, guys. So that's pretty much it. I see the game works really easily, and like, you know, we took some time to make this. I know this is one of those complicated ones, but we did it, and I hope this was helpful, and I hope you actually learned a lot, because we used pretty much everything we've talked about so far in this project, and it was really fun. But one of the things I want you to do is I want you to download the code. I'm going to comment it out for you so you understand it better. All right, so like you get a better idea of exactly how the code works, and also, you know, I strongly recommend you to, if you tried it before, to do it by yourself, but you go at it one more time based on everything you watched so far to, you know, try to solve it by yourself, because that's really the best way to go about this. But anyways, let me know if you have any questions, guys. If not, I'll see you in the next lessons and next sections.